Hello everyone, Musto0063 back again to make your ears suffer. Yeah, apologies making you sit through that again, but rather than just go straight into the fortress etc, I thought I'd at least put the transition in again. So yeah, Dr. Cossack wasn't behind everything that was going on, it was Dr. Wily. Apologies for the delay here as well, and also the change in the music cue. Basically I stopped to stop the recording when I was doing this game because I thought it was going on far too long, etc. So I completed all the Cossack stages and then just had to pause the recording. So that's why the music went a bit off there. But anyway, yeah, this is Wily Stage 1, or as I like to call it, Met City. Basically, it's an area completely filled with Mets. So sometimes they're the jumping ones, sometimes they're the twirling ones, sometimes they're underwater and they hop or swim around, etc. But yeah, basically this is just Met City. Actually, there's something I wanted to address from the sort of cutscene, I suppose. Not really call it maybe a cutscene, but the reveal of Dr. Wily, etc. So basically, Proto Man comes in. He swoops in with Dr. Cossack's daughter, etc., and reveals that Cossack's not really the one behind it all. And Dr. Wily says that Proto Man betrayed him. Now, this is somewhat of a weird kind of thing for me. The cartoon series it's not something I know all that well, I must admit, but Proto Man in the cartoon series seems to be Dr. Wily's right-hand robot or whatever. He actually is on Dr. Wily's side. But in the Mega Man games, etc., Proto Man wasn't really established until Mega Man 3, but I don't recall any of his actions in Mega Man 3 indicating, by any stretch of the imagination, that he was on Dr. Wily's side. If any, he came in at the very end of the day and saved Mega Man, etc. There's a long scene, etc., right at the end, with Proto Man, in the sky smiling down at Mega Man, and it's revealed that Proto Man is indeed Mega Man's brother. So, and fighting alongside him. So, why Wily would think that Proto Man's working with him, I'm not quite sure. But yeah, a lot of people would possibly think that from the cartoon series. But yeah, I'm a bit confused by that, just based on how it all goes in the classic series. Apologies that the stage went by rather quickly, but like I said, Met City kind of sums it up. As indeed does the boss, Metal Daddy. So he's a giant metal, as you can kind of see. Well, would you believe he's weak to either Ring Boomerang or Dust Crusher? I told you. And by the way, that was the first hit of the Fortress stages. So I got through the entire set of Cossack stages without taking a hit. Yay me. If you thought Mega Man 3 was easy, and it is, then I wouldn't say Mega Man 4's Fortress stages are easier by any stretch of the imagination, but it just turned out that way. Anyway, Metal Daddy, again, he's weak, probably weakest to a fully charged Mega Buster shot, so there, another hit. That's a shame. But yeah, basically, when he's obviously coiled up, as with all the Mets, you can't hit him. When he opens up, that's a cue to hit him. He jumps across the screen, he shakes the ground, etc. And if you're on the ground, you'll freeze in place. And when he drops, obviously, there's lots and lots of shaking that goes on. Tiny Mets drop from the ceiling, really annoyingly, probably on your head, more often than not. And you obviously got to try and avoid those. But he does a crap ton of damage if he hits you, so it can be rather a troublesome fight, that one, actually. You definitely don't want to get stunned, sliding underneath him and get caught, otherwise you'll take 2 hits, and as I say, he does an absolute bugger load of damage. So yeah, we're started off with stage 2, and there's a cavalcade of spikes and ladybug enemies, which I just hate, or ladybug copters, or bug copters, whatever the hell you want to call it. But yeah, an abundance of spikes, and you need to move quite quickly through that area, or certainly the ladybug copter, or bug copter, or whatever section, because if you hang around there, then you'll just end up getting, hit more often than not. Here's me having fun with this little enemy, and and the balloons as well. I just about managed to get through, but yeah, a little bit dicey that. Obviously, if you want to take out the little enemy with a drill bomb or anything else, then be my guest. Thanks, Eddie, for the 1-up. That bodes well for a no damage run, doesn't it? There were 2 ladders on you saw on that bottom screen. As you clearly see from what on this screen, you want to take the right hand ladder. There's no point whatsoever to taking the left ladder. The Mummy Row, which looked kind of a little bit out of place without the Pharaoh tomb kind of going on in the background. Thank you again for another 1-up. I certainly didn't need it. Nor did I really need any of the energy tanks I've kind of stopped to collect. So, yeah. But, here we have another room with bubble bat enemies, and again 2 ladders to choose from. And, well, they're probably both about as much as a muchness, to be honest. But if you have if you can be bothered making over to the left, you might as well take the left one. You get a slightly easier bit on this screen, and you don't have to deal with that Dokran skull enemy on there. Now, when you get up on this ladder, quickly take out that mono rotor. If it starts going crazy, as you can see, the other one is the top one was doing there. Then you'll probably get hit. So yeah, as soon as you get up there, take out that mono rotor nice and quickly. Another Gashapon enemy that we saw in Dust Stage, and probably another one that I can't remember at the moment. But again, as Bright actually is the other one where it appears, isn't it? But again, well, certainly the first one anyway starts off miles away from you, that it really shouldn't be a problem. Nor should that second one either, to be honest. But it's a little bit closer in, so you do have to be a little bit more careful with that one. And here's the boss of Wily 2. This is Taco Trash, and, well, Ring Boomerang does the trick rather nicely. Oh boy, Wily really should have thought about mixing up some weapon weaknesses. Gee whiz. It has 2 attacks. You saw it right at the beginning, it was shooting out these kind of like fire shots at you, and they're no real problem to dodge. The other attack, which is slightly more annoying to dodge, are the ones where it shoots out the kind of the balls of trash or whatever, but again, they're really quite easy to dodge. Obviously, you can see you've got platforms there. You need to kind of get up on them in order to hit its weak spot, which is kind of like its its head glowing, jewel kind of, or the glowing thing on its kind of head. But yeah, again, Ring Boomerang just makes bloody quick work of him. So, Wily Stage 3, and again apologies for the change in the music or whatever, so again I thought the recording might be going on a little bit long because this level is going to go on rather long, and indeed we've obviously got the thinking about the final level and then credits, etc. I just thought again I'd cut the recording so it didn't go on too long. So when you drop down, ideally you probably want to be around where I was there, so on the left hand side, so that the shield attacker doesn't get you. And that one you have to take out bloody quickly, or what happened to me there will happen. There's pretty much nowhere to go there, so yeah, when that one thing turns around, you need to drop down and take it out damn quickly. Fortunately, there are a couple of little small energy pellets actually to refill your health if you so need it, which indeed I did, so it's not the end of the world if you do get hit, nor in fact would it be even if the blooming energy pellets weren't there, but oh well. This is probably fairly obvious what's going to be happening now. We have our boss rush. So, again, time for me to talk about weapon weaknesses. So first up in the top left is Drillman, and he's weak to the dive missile. There are a few, well I'll get to them when I kind of point them out, but there are a few Robot Masters in certainly in Mega Man 4 that I would generally not use weapon weaknesses on for whatever reason. I don't mind using dive missile on drill. It's no problem. It does the trick rather nicely. Drillman's pretty easy again, and he wanted to behave here as well quite nicely. So he didn't just dive straight down into the floor, etc., and just be a right pain. So yeah, he was nice and quick and easy to take out. Second up, middle left, is Brightman, and he's weak to Toadman's weapon Rain Flush. But you don't really want to hit him first off with it. Hit him one hit first with an uncharged Mega Buster, and there's me pressing the wrong pause button. So the point here is that Rain Flush does 4 bits of damage to Brightman. So if you just used that weapon straight on him, then he'll take 4 damage, 8 damage, 12 damage. So then he'll use Flash Stopper, which you do not want him to use. Also, from then on 16, 20, 24, etc. And he will then use Flash Stopper at those critical moments. But if you get that Mega Buster hit on him, he'll only then take 1, 5, 9, 13, 17, 21, 25, and then dead. So yeah, but that was a clumsy fight, and I got twice to him. Here's me demonstrating that you do not really want to jump when you go into the Skullman fight. You probably want to shoot. His weakness, as you can clearly see by now, is Dust Crusher. What else? Pretty much everything else is. So, but no, all joking aside, yeah, I didn't feel like I wanted to shoot when I kind of got in there and waste Dust Crusher. So I jumped, but instead of jumping across the room, he then shot the energy pellets at me, and I wasn't expecting it. But still, I managed to get through it. Middle left bottom is Dive Man, and he's weak to Skull Barrier, but I really would not recommend Skull Barrier. It's a pain in the neck to hit Dive without getting hit yourself. I do a pretty good job here, apart from the fact that I could just for some reason didn't put on the Skull Barrier right at the end there. But yeah, I would really not recommend using Skull Barrier on Dive Man. It's not the best option. So middle bottom right is Toadman, and he is weak to Drill Bomb. And, well, he's just about as pathetic as ever, really. Yeah, that was pretty sad. Bottom right is Dustman. And he is weak, well, who isn't, to Ring Boomerang. I probably generally wouldn't use Ring Boomerang again on Dustman because it means you've got to get up close to him, etc., which makes dodging his Dust Crusher attack that little bit more difficult. But well, I shall see in this fight. I made 2 spectacular mess-ups. So yeah, ordinarily I'd like to be further away from him. Here's the first one. I just completely mistimed it, and I thought, oh, screw it. I'll just go in close and kill you now since I've got. And I completely screwed that one up again. So yay, 2 hits on Dustman. Not good at all. But yeah, Ring Boomerang makes very short work of him. So middle right is Ringman, and he is weak to Pharaoh Shot, but again, I wouldn't recommend doing it. Here I just show off what happens when you hit him with a uncharged one and a charged one, and you can see in particular that a charged Pharaoh Shot takes out a load of energy off Ringman. But we're going to probably want Pharaoh as a weapon for later, so I really don't want to waste it all here, particularly on such an easy boss as Ringman. Or certainly when you're not doing a Let's Play and forget what is his attack pattern. But yeah, this fight goes by absolutely fine. I obviously knew what he was going to do. So yeah, it is his weakness, Pharaoh Shot, but I probably wouldn't recommend not using it because you probably want to save it for later. So one left, top right, and it's Pharaoh Man, and he is weak to Bright Man's Flash Stopper. And basically the idea to this is that when you actually use the weapon, Pharaoh Man actually just freezes in place. So as you can see here, I'm a little bit wary of the one little Pharaoh Shot that he threw at me, so I'm just being a little bit careful, so that because there is a bit of a tiny gap between the freezing and using the weapon again. So I just decided to be a little bit kind of careful there. I also kind of backtracked away from Pharaoh Man because he was advancing very slightly, and I didn't feel like getting Pharaoh in the face. So that's all 8 Robot Masters down, and we're going to Wily. Guess what he's weak to? Yep, phase 1 is weak to Ring Boomerang, and he has a pretty appalling blind spot. So yeah, just kind of stand a little bit to the left of the mouth opening, etc. And once he's shot his 3 energy spheres at you, it'll always be 3. Jump up and smack him with the Ring Boomerang, or indeed any weapon you particularly like. But say Ring Boomerang again makes very short work of him. And yeah, for whatever reason, I don't know why, I didn't really feel the need to conserve my Ring Boomerang. I decided to switch out and get him the last hit with an uncharged Mega Buster shot. Okay, fine. And second phase, well, a thing that's not weak to either Ring Boomerang or Dust Crusher, but as with the Cockroach Twins, it's Drill Bomb, so there's another one that is indeed weak to Drill Bomb. The problem with this one is, particularly, either with Drill Bomb or indeed fully charged Mega Buster shots, ordinarily they'll just, well, fully charged Mega Buster shots will work, but Drill Bomb will just bounce off him, unless you explode the bomb in mid-air as well. And you can kind of see that I tried to actually do this without taking any damage at the start of the fight, but after I got hit about 2-3 times, I really couldn't be bothered, so I just went gung-ho and went for it after that. So yeah, if you're going to use Drill Bomb, you need to explode it just in mid-air before it bounces off Wily, because otherwise it will just bounce off him and deflect away, and it won't actually hit him. But a fully charged Mega Buster shot will also work there as well. You can stand under Wily there, so what I was trying to do was stand under Wily, slide off to the left, get a hit in and slide back to the right. It worked a couple of times at the beginning there, but and also a little bit toward the middle, but yeah, I was taking, I ended up taking a few hits, so yeah, I say at the end I just went gung-ho, because I really couldn't be bothered dragging the damn thing out. So we really are in-game this time. This is Wily Stage 4. Typical kind of drop at the beginning of the stage, and we also have these worm enemies which drop down, and he was also nice enough, not that I really needed it, but he was nice enough to drop a big weapon energy, well yeah, sorry, big weapon energy, so that I could refill my Pharaoh shots, not that it was really strictly needed. Good thing about Pharaoh shot is that if you're kind of like you've already fired one, you can actually hold down the button and it will charge when you go into boss fights, so that's helpful. So this is Wily Capsule, and well, I might as well call it Wily Capsule 4, since this is Mega Man 4, and it starts the tradition of Wily Capsules for end bosses. And as you can see here, it's a little bit of a pain. He's kind of, the screen is in total darkness, etc. Wily, kind of appears more or less kind of random throughout the stage. He fires a big energy sphere right at you, etc. And you never quite know where he's going to appear, so it's a little bit of kind of a lottery here, etc. Pharaoh shot is his definite weakness. It's about the only thing that will hit him, actually. Ring Boomerang, funnily enough, Ring Boomerang again will do the trick, but you need to hit him with every single shot if you go into it. And I was completely fragged there. And that's what's annoying about this, in the sense that Wily can just appear right where you were standing and ruin your attempted perfect run. That was a bit of a stupid hit as well, but oh well. Yeah, Pharaoh shot does the trick very nicely, but he is somewhat random. The energy sphere could kind of appear kind of come at you at awkward angles, etc. And as for Wily, he can pretty much appear anywhere he likes on screen, including right up at the top, and indeed right below the platform that you're standing on, which makes it very, very difficult to hit him. But Wily being Wily and Mega Man being Mega Man, just standing there not doing anything while Wily prays for mercy. He gets away. He goes around a revolving door and self-destructs his base. As you can see, Wily's just floating away here. The base is self-destructing, and we can just see here that Mega Man just about gets away in time. So Mega Man boards a train and rides all the way home. So yeah, that's Mega Man 4. So I guess might as well give this is the time where I kind of do summing up on the game. Briefly, I suppose, just my performance quote unquote in the Fortress stages, etc. I do find Cossack's stages very easy, and yeah, I did them all 4 without taking a hit. So yeah, they're pretty easy. I wouldn't say they're easier overall than necessarily Mega Man 3, because Mega Man 3 just leaves energy tanks lying around like confetti, extra lives, etc. But the Yellow Devil boss, and indeed the Mega Man boss, if you're not using Snake Man, can be rather tricky. But yeah, Cossack stages really aren't too bad. Wily stages again are not too bad. I do have problems with that giant, the Metal Daddy boss, etc. So that one can be a bit of a problem. Most of the Robot Masters are all fine, so the boss rush really doesn't go too badly, unless of course I'm trying to show off weaknesses, etc. I'm thinking particularly Skull Barrier on Dive Man. I really would not recommend that. Yeah, Wily's Machine's not too bad, and the Wily Capsule's not too bad, at least in terms of later ones we're going to see. I'd say it's probably more annoying than 5 or 6, but certainly not than 7 or 8, for instance. So yeah, I think I did a reasonable kind of job there in the Fortress. So certainly in Cossack stage, and not too bad on Wily. So yeah, Mega Man, by the look of it, is approaching home. I don't know how long this train ride lasts, but oh no, we're there. And Roll and Rush are there to greet him. So yeah, while the Robot Masters troll themselves out or roll themselves out, and the credits roll, my overall thoughts on the game. Yeah, I like Mega Man 4. This is probably the period when most people, again, the consensus will say, Mega Man fan base will say, okay, this is where the quality started to drop. 2 and 3 were awesome. This is where it started to tail off, etc. I say I prefer Mega Man 4 to Mega Man 2 anyway. I've gone over what the problems I think there are with Mega Man 2. But I guess probably, most people were probably moving on to the SNES or the Super Nintendo, etc. at this point in time. Yet Mega Man continued to remain on the NES. So a lot of people were jumping ship, etc. Well, not jumping ship, but moving on to a newer console, and Mega Man just didn't appear on it until much later. So yeah, I can understand why people maybe kind of are starting to think that the quality is kind of dropping. But yeah, I really like Mega Man 4. It doesn't necessarily say have many. But maybe it's iconic robot masters as some of the earlier ones. Although, frankly, Toadman I think is fairly iconic, and Pharaoh Man's probably fairly iconic as well. Just given one scene in the Mega Man cartoon. But yeah, overall I think it's got a nice kind of balance to it. The charge shot is a decent enough addition. I didn't mind, if you can get past the noise. The other little things they put in, like the wire adapter and the balloon, are all kind of nice, etc. I like the fact that it kind of the game was a little bit kind of extended, etc. It kind of played with you a little bit in thinking that, okay, Wily's not behind it this time, it's actually someone else, although we can clearly kind of see that that's actually not the case. But yeah, I like the kind of the extension of the game as well. So yeah, that was my kind of thoughts on Mega Man 4 as Eddie comes in and spells out Capcom. So before concluding this video, let's look at the Mega Man 4 Perfect Run scoreboard. And another fully complete one without any 10s in sight. Lovely. I gave Toad a 1, Dive, Dust and Skull 2s, Drill a 3, Bright a 5, Ring a 6, and Pharaoh earning the highest rank of just 7. This equates to a total score for Mega Man 4 of 28. For comparison purposes, Mega Man 1 as a whole got a score of 29, Mega Man 2 got a score of 42, and Mega Man 3 got a score of 34. So, leaving aside Wily Tower, which as I said previously, I'm not going to directly compare as there are only 3 Robot Master stages in that game, Mega Man 4 was the easiest so far. Shocking, you might think, and my initial reaction was much the same. But I'd fully expected Ring, Pharaoh, and certainly Bright to be trickier than they turned out. Also, I'll go on record again as saying that 6 of the Robot Masters in this game are very easy. In Mega Man 2, for example, I'd only ever be 100% confident on Heat and Crash, but not the other 6. Ditto Mega Man 3. Top and Magnet are, for me anyway, the only gimmies on offer. Here, though, there are 6. Only Pharaoh and Bright, and okay, maybe Drill if he corners you, should realistically cause me any problems. Getting hit to any of the others, not that this Let's Play was free of doing so though, means I've caught a clumsy bug rather than the game is throwing the difficulty at me. So yeah, initially I was very surprised this was the easiest set of Perfect Runs so far, but when I started to think about it a bit more, it all of a sudden didn't seem all that surprising. I think that's all about what I wanted to say for Mega Man 4. I hope you enjoyed this walkthrough. I still have a lot of fun when playing this game. It'd probably be at the top of the lower half on my personal favourite list, because I do enjoy some of the other games more, but it's still fun nevertheless. Next up, I will finally be doing a Let's Play of I Wanna Be Like Bryself. I've been wanting to do one for over a year now. It's, as of this moment in time, my second favourite I Wanna Be game, but the fates just completely conspired against me. I'll be sure to talk about all the pain I experienced in trying to get a decent recording of the game done during the Let's Play itself, but suffice to say, as you'll know if you've been following my channel, computers just hate me. They really, really do. Hope that you'll join me for that. Cheerio.